Princess Leonor, heir to Spain, a crown waiting, a family in the spotlight. But here's the twist, royalty today is not what it was yesterday. Power looks different, duty weighs heavier, and Leonor, she is not just a princess, she is Spain's next monarch. The House of Bourbon, reborn through her. Born on October 31, 2005, Princess Leonor of Spain entered the world already carrying centuries of history on her shoulders. The firstborn daughter of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, Leonor carries the direct line of succession that dates back through the storied House of Bourbon. From the moment of her birth, the Spanish monarchy knew its future rested with her. But what does it mean to grow up as Spain's next queen? What does it mean to inherit a dynasty both adored and scrutinized? Let us step inside her story. Leonor grew up in the Palacio de la Zarzuela, just outside Madrid. Unlike fairy tales of golden towers, her childhood blended the extraordinary with the ordinary. She had playtime with her younger sister, Infanta Sofia, but also lessons in diplomacy, history, and duty. Imagine learning at age 10 what many never learn in a lifetime, that every gesture, every word, will one day symbolize an entire nation. That is Leonor's reality. When King Felipe took the throne in 2014, following the abdication of his father King Juan Carlos, Leonor's life shifted. Overnight, she became the Princess of Asturias, the title reserved for the heir. Spain watched this young girl, then just 8 years old, step into a spotlight that would never dim. And here's where the weight of the House of Bourbon comes in. The family has weathered scandals, abdications, and crises of legitimacy. Leonor was destined to be not just a continuation, but a correction. The House of Bourbon's legacy stretches back centuries. Originating in France, the dynasty's Spanish branch has ruled since the early 18th century. Kings and queens from this line shaped the history of Europe. But they also carried burdens, wars of succession, political turmoil, exile, and scandal. Leonor's role is not simply to inherit power, but to prove the Bourbon name can thrive in the 21st century. Will she succeed where others faltered? Spain itself complicates the crown's journey. This is a country proud, passionate, yet divided. Some regions still call for independence. Others question the monarchy's relevance. Yet, against this backdrop, Leonor symbolizes something rare: continuity and hope. Young, modern, educated, and female, she stands as the first woman in centuries set to inherit the Spanish throne. For many Spaniards, this alone is revolutionary. Her education reflects her preparation. At the Santa Maria de las Rosales school in Madrid, she studied quietly alongside peers, shielded but not hidden. Then came a bold move, attending UWC Atlantic College in Wales, often called the hippie Hogwarts, where future leaders and royals from across the globe study together. This was no coincidence. Her parents, Felipe and Letizia, wanted her to grow beyond palace walls, to learn empathy, global awareness, and resilience. And from there, Leonor embarked on military training, a rite of passage for heirs to the Spanish throne. Imagine the symbolism: a princess in uniform, leading troops, not just in ceremony but in discipline. Every step, every choice, forms a narrative. Leonor is not only inheriting tradition, she is rewriting it. But let us pause here. Who is Leonor behind the titles? She is a sister, deeply close to Infanta Sofia. The two girls are often seen side by side, sharing laughter in private moments, strength in public duties. This bond, though often overshadowed by duty, may become her secret weapon as queen. For history tells us, monarchs isolated fall. Monarchs with allies endure. She is also a daughter, one shaped profoundly by her parents. King Felipe, tall, steady, measured, embodies duty and restraint. Queen Letizia, once a journalist, brings sharp intellect and modern sensibilities. Together, they crafted Leonor's upbringing with deliberate care. She is the bridge between two worlds, her father's tradition and her mother's modernity. And yet, can any preparation truly ready her for the crown? That is the haunting question. Spain has known monarchs who stumbled. Her grandfather Juan Carlos began as a hero, restoring democracy, but scandals dimmed his legacy. Felipe rebuilt dignity, but his reign has been marked by crisis. Leonor inherits not just the throne but the shadow of doubt. Still, there are moments that reveal her quiet power. When she delivered her first public speech in 2019, Spaniards marveled at her poise. She was only 13. Her voice clear, her Spanish flawless, her presence steady. It was a glimpse into the monarch she could become. Not one of pomp and distance, but of closeness and conviction. The House of Bourbon has always been about survival. Through exile, wars, and criticism, it endured. But Leonor represents not just survival, she represents rebirth. The image of a young queen, grounded in both tradition and progress, may be exactly what Spain's monarchy needs. But here's the curiosity: will the people embrace her when the time comes? Monarchies today live or die not by armies or wealth, but by relevance. Will Leonor feel like a symbol of all Spain, or only a relic of history? That answer lies in her choices. She will face trials, political storms, media scrutiny, the delicate balance of neutrality in a polarized world. She will need to walk the fine line between human warmth and royal mystique. Too distant, and she risks irrelevance. Too ordinary, and she risks losing the aura of monarchy. And so, her story is still unwritten. But one thing is certain: she carries the legacy of a dynasty older than most nations. She embodies the hope of a country that has known fracture and triumph alike. And above all, she reminds us that monarchy is not about crowns or thrones, it is about people. Princess Leonor of Spain, the next monarch, the House of Bourbon, alive in her veins. The question is not whether she will wear the crown. The question is how she will redefine it. For in her hands rests not only the future of Spain's monarchy but the meaning of royalty itself in the 21st century. And that is a story the world will watch, every step, every smile, every decision, until the day she takes the throne. The crown waits. The House of Bourbon breathes. And Leonor walks steadily toward destiny.